When you hear the phrase an ideal woman, what images come to mind? Maybe Megan Fox, a supermodel? Are they blonde, slim figured, or do they have Kim Kardashian curves? Our idea of how an ideal woman should look can often be unattainable and always changing, leaving women insecure and constantly comparing themselves to a fantasy. Today I'm going to discuss the difference in ideals from a woman and man's perspective, how women's bodies are portrayed in the media, and how the body positivity movement can be detrimental to a woman's body image. Throughout history, the image of the ideal woman has changed. However, beauty has always been the standard that qualifies a woman for validation, more friends, followers, love, and even job opportunities. But how does the ideal woman change in the eyes of men and women? A couple of weeks ago, during one of my communications classes, we were discussing this very concept. We were all given access to a document, and the professor asked us to insert photos or comments of what a woman thinks is the ideal woman. Photos of producers, writers, Grammy winners, mothers, and peacemakers were inserted with comments like independent, intelligent, and funny. When it came to the man's woman, there were pictures of models and actresses with slim figures and comments like big butt, skinny, and pretty were the majority. An article in the New Inquiry magazine described how Drew Barrymore was the ideal woman's woman because she was successful, independent, and authentic. However, she wasn't the ideal man's woman because she lacked sex appeal. Why the discrepancy in ideals? In today's world, a woman's value is often placed on her image, which could attribute to the rise in women's insecurity, as eating disorders have increased by a third in the last decade. Over quarantine, I lost 30 pounds with a friend that wanted me to help keep her accountable on her weight loss journey. When I got back to school, I noticed that I got more attention from everybody, gained followers, more people messaged me, and in general, people paid me more attention. Every compliment I received was about my body. My friend also noticed these changes, and we talked about how our motivations were to get healthier, fitter, and feel better in our own skin. But by doing this, we were also becoming more acceptable to society's standards of beauty. Although these standards are created within our society, they are reinforced throughout the media. British film theorist Lauren Mulvey published an article describing the visual pleasure theory. Within this theory, she explains the mirror stage, which is when we identify and desire to be like the images we encounter. Since our society today is inundated with TV, magazines, social media that fill our heads with images of the ideal body, it's no wonder that we want to mirror these in our own lives. We see the main love interest as beautiful and slim, and so we think that in order to qualify for love, we need to fit the prerequisites of a perfect body. Advertising companies are aware of this and feed into these insecurities by targeting women with get slim fast products that focus on being slim rather than being healthy. You would think that once a woman worked out, ate well, maybe got plastic surgery to achieve the perfect body, she would be safe, right? Well, the media's ideal body image changes almost every decade. In the 50s, it was the hourglass. The 1960s was the twig. 70s was the long and lean disco diva. 80s was the supermodel. 90s was heroin chic. 2000s was the buff toned look. And in the 2010s, it's the decade of the booty. I remember growing up and seeing ads for a machine to shrink your booty, and now seeing butt pads at Target that make your booty bigger. A woman's body is more than a trend or clothing to be swapped out when it becomes unfashionable. In today's world of social media and photo editing, we often see photos that have been altered and filtered to the point where the subject doesn't even look like the photos, making women feel insecure, not as pretty, skinny, and therefore not as worthy in society or the media's eye. In recent years, the body positivity movement has gained traction to fight against the idea that women of different sizes are not as worthy. Body positivity refers to the idea that all people deserve to have a positive body image, regardless of how society and pop culture view the ideal shape, size, and appearance. Although a lot of progress has been made in acceptance towards more body types, in some ways it has been counterproductive. Dr. Heather Widdows discussed in an article in Psychology Today about how body positivity campaigns claim to celebrate all bodies. However, they often only challenge one feature of the beauty ideal. Dr. Widdows said if they do this, then they're not really challenging the beauty ideal, though they think they are, but further embedding it. Although it is good intention and has sparked some very important conversations, often this movement has fallen into the trap of putting women in boxes. Kelly DeVos, a feminist author, wrote an article in the New York Times saying how, as a member of the body positivity movement, she felt that her desire to want to lose weight was never legitimate. She went on to say how any discussion of her personal health or weight loss would constitute as fat shaming, so she was shut out of the community that preached acceptance of all body types. To improve the body positivity movement, we need to recognize that a woman's body was designed to change and fluctuate throughout her lifetime. Each woman was born with different proportions, genetics, and lives different lifestyles that give us the spectrum of the woman's body. In order to help this body positivity movement to be positive, it is our responsibility as members of society to not pass judgment and think about how our assumptions of a woman's body affect the younger generation, and how we can slowly dismantle this ideal of the so-called perfect womanly body. Today, too much energy is put into losing weight, looking perfect, working and failing, then trying again to achieve this unattainable perfection. This energy that could be used instead to solve problems, deepen relationships, and be present and happier in the bodies that we are given. So first we discussed how a woman's body is perceived by both men and women, then how it's portrayed in the media, and finally how the body positivity movement can be improved to help women. I hope now we can think of when we think of the ideal woman, we can think of the spectrum of beautiful, equally worthy women who are also more than their beauty or their body. Next time you go to overedit a photo, starve yourself to lose that last 10 pounds, or give an unsolicited opinion on someone else's body, think about the message you are sending and the world you want to create for your future daughters. Thank you.